It's the Double N Sports TV. Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nigel. I will be giving you betting tips, score predictions, and looking ahead at tomorrow's games in Russia. But remember, guys, this is gambling. You must control it. Do not let it control you. I'm only giving you these tips in good faith. Always remember to gamble what you can afford. There's a link in the description box, gambleaway.co.uk. Yep, what? Yeah, changes. Yes, it's changes. More changes coming. Double N Sports TV. Watch the space. What hasn't changed is that Brazil are still favorites to win this whole tournament. They are 4-1 to win this whole tournament. France, they are at 6-1 to win this whole tournament, but that depends on the bookies you're looking at. Some are 7-1, some are 650-1 for France to win this whole tournament. Belgium are at 12-1 to win this whole tournament. England, they're at 18-1 to win this whole tournament. England are above Uruguay and Croatia. But let's see. Russia are 21-1 this whole tournament. Russia are the surprise team of the tournament. I don't think anybody expected them to come out of the group stages, let alone beat Spain and be in the last 8. So, but the odds are 21-1 to win this whole tournament. Uruguay are 31-1 to win this whole tournament. Uruguay has had some injuries, some significant injuries now. So I guess that's why their odds are not so good. Croatia, they are 32-1 to win this whole tournament. And Sweden are at 101 to win this whole tournament. Watch out for Sweden. Sweden are very good defensively. They are good at scoring one goal and shutting you out of the game. You will not score, when the Swedish defend. So watch out for Sweden. So let's look at tomorrow's games. Tomorrow sees France play Uruguay and Belgium play Brazil. Brazil, the favorites. Sorry, not the hosts, the favorites. So France versus Uruguay, an interesting game. France lived up to their expectations when they played Argentina in the last game there. That was an entertaining game. Possibly the best match of this tournament so far. It was an exquisite. Pogba was just so live. He was just a live wire in that game. His passing was just so exquisite. Mbappe scored a great goal. He was just also a live wire on that match. So these guys are now coming out. France hadn't been tested, really been tested. They hadn't played great opposition coming to that stage when they played Argentina. Well, it might be say Argentina had been poor as well, but France showed another level when they played Argentina, and this is a level that can win them this whole tournament if they continue with that. Uruguay, well, they've had some injuries. Edson Carvalho has been injured, but they do have enough firepower at the front. Do not worry about that. They have enough firepower at the front. But Uruguay, so they've been solid defensively, but they've been careless defensively, conceding penalties, and it doesn't help. They've been solid at the front. Perhaps you could argue that they've been poor at the back, but they are not a bad team. Uruguay have conceded 1 goal in the last 10 games, so that is not to be snuffed at. That means they're organized at the back. They've scored 10 goals, so they're solid. France, well, as I said, France, they have been they have been not so solid, but not so poor. They just shown a glimpse of what they can do, but then they showed it against Argentina. Still, France, they're still a solid team. They've conceded 4 goals and scored 8 goals in the last 5 games, so they're still a solid front. So with all that said, the score prediction we are going to go for this is 1-1 for this match. It's going to be 1-1, largely because you see in the last couple of World Cups, the European teams are getting the better of the South American teams. So I think that trend is just now going to continue. So in 90 minutes, the scoreline is going to be 1-1. If you go for that scoreline in the bookies, it's 6-1 for Uruguay and France to draw 1-1, but 6-1. And for France to win 1-0, it's also 6-1. For Uruguay to win 1-0, it's 10-1. So none of these teams have scored, and other than France scoring that, that 4-3 against Argentina, France hasn't scored that many goals And Uruguay, they've just been winning 1-0, 2-1. They haven't scored that many goals. So I think if you also go with under 1.5 goals in this game, yeah, you will get some money in that. So I think you should go for that. Let's look at the next game. The next game sees Brazil face Belgium. Interesting game. Belgium, they had to come from behind against Japan. But what Belgium showed was that they have a plan B. Belgium showed that. They have a plan B and it worked. I do not think any of these other teams, any of these 7 teams have a plan B. Any of these 7 teams, they do not have a plan B, but Belgium does. Brazil, this will be their stern test at this World Cup. Brazil haven't been tested in this World Cup. I guess you could argue that Mexico perhaps tested them in the second half of their game. But, you know, if Belgium just come and just show what they showed in the second half, I think they will have enough to beat Brazil. Brazil, they rely too much on Neymar. However, they do have Coutinho. Coutinho can score goals. He is dangerous. So maybe Belgium might, you know, put pressure on Neymar and keep Neymar out of the game. That will give Coutinho a chance. So that is what Belgium needs to watch out for. Because Brazil have enough players, you know, to kill any game. They can do that at any time. Oh, Belgium, sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't show up. You understand? So it just depends which Belgium team shows up. You know, like I said now, the European teams are dominating the South American teams now. And at this stage in the last World Cup, Brazil got thumped by Germany. Bad. Very, very bad. I think it was 7-1 or 6-1. I can't remember the score at the top of my head, but it was a thumping, right? What are the predictions now? Brazil is always Brazil. They will always have enough to you know, like I said, to win any game. The scoreline we are predicting at this game is 2-1. Brazil have been solid defensively. So has Belgium. So has Belgium. Both teams have been solid defensively. But Belgium do concede more goals. If you look at the last 5, Belgium has conceded 5 goals in the last 5, and they've scored 16 goals. So they've got enough firepower. Whereas Brazil, they've conceded just 1 goal in the last 5, and they've scored 10. So I think Brazil will just have enough to beat Belgium. Coutinho to score first is another option you could go for. Coutinho is 15-2 to score first. Mbappe is 11-2 to score first in the other game. Those are the odds you could go for. But we're not in this game as well, Brazil versus Belgium, we're not predicting over 1.5 goals. So try and go for under 1.5 goals and you will get more money. So this is getting interesting. Just keep enjoying the World Cup, and it's your Double N Sports TV. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nigel. And I will catch you on the next one. Catch you on the next one.